All right, breaking news here at the WhattaPlay studios. We're getting some news in from ESPN themselves. The Dallas Mavericks have been disenfranchised. We're bringing back the Supersonics. They are drafting Jalen T. Luna. You want to tell them what position you play, Mr. Luna?
Well, let's just say my 1 year at Louisville. Obviously, we went undefeated, 40-0. Won the national championship, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm looking forward to going back to the Pacific Northwest. I have Pacific Northwest roots with my dad being from there, so yeah, let's get it.
Anyways, welcome to your 28th installment, aka this is going
28th?
to be, yeah, this is the 28th episode. Remember, the last one I did was the 27th?
You know I never watched these back.
Yeah, this is the 28th, aka before co-host Jalen interrupted me, aka the 4th of July unofficial, official episode of the WhattaPlay podcast. So we're going to list off some notable 28s. I know one off rip. It's Adrian Peterson, all day AP. Jalen, list them another one.
Well, kind of going back to the vault with this one, going back to my days as a Jets fan, I gotta, shout out that man, Curtis Martin, one of the most underrated
Curtis
running backs
Martin.
of all time.
That's a good one.
One of my favorites of all time. You know what I mean? But I don't go for that team no more. So
Yeah, because he's a bandwagon.
I can say whatever you want. I don't care. I'm grown. I'm not hurting nobody.
You're hurting the Jets.
The Jets hurt me for my whole life.
You were the dumbass who chose them as a team when you were how
I was
old?
5.
You should have known better.
I mean, you weren't doing dumb stuff when you was 5. You was taking crayons up your nose.
No, I wasn't. I was jumping off a freaking
ledges.
ledges.
You're taking them up your ass.
Don't even go there, because I will expose you right now on this podcast.
Yeah, okay, I feel like you drinking water or something.
It actually is water, motherfucker. That's Everclear right there, baby. Anyways, some notable more 28s. You got a guy back in the day that used to play for the Titans in Chris Johnson. You got Darren Woodson. You got a throwback in Marshall Faulk, so
The fact that you actually looked that up.
I knew it. I just did some research. Leave me alone. You don't carry this podcast. You just show up when I tell you to.
I'm the eye candy.
No, you're not. Nobody's looking at you. That's why you get negative swipes on Tinder.
I mean, I haven't been on Tinder in like a year. So.
Yeah, because he got bots.
But
He the type of dude to flirt with bots. Anyways, tell him what we're going to be covering today, co-host Jalen.
So, as you can tell by our attire, we're going to be going over some NBA free agency. Unless you've been living under a rock or you still can pay that internet bill or that phone bill, the NBA is going to shake it up. And with some potential big names going to new places, it's probably going to be shaken up even more. So, that being said, let's get on into it. So, really the first two big free agency moves happened. DeJounte Murray traded from San Antonio to Atlanta.
You know why I'm laughing, but continue.
And of course, the other big one coming out of that was Jalen Brunson going to the Knicks for a 4-year, $110 million deal. Now, I do mention these because I do have I have association with both franchises. The DeJounte trade, if you really know me, I kind of been calling it for a while now. With the development of DeJounte, him getting the praise and the flowers that he deserves, I kind of expected San Antonio to give him up down the line, and when they actually did it, it was like, well, saw this coming. But I guess the one good thing to come out of it is that one, DeJounte is going to ball out in Atlanta, even though I strongly dislike Trae Young. But the one thing that I kind of take from this is the fact that the Spurs in a way kind of did right by him. You know what I mean? They kind of they straight up told him, hey, we're finally going to go into a rebuild, and we want to waste your years here. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do right by you. And of course, DeJounte basically wanted him to say, appreciate the Spurs for everything. Y'all brought me in. You know what I mean? Y'all took a chance on me. It's always gonna be nothing but love with you guys. And for the most part, every besides the big three who retired, every big name player, every player who actually did something with the Spurs, who has left the Spurs, they've always left on good terms, except for the one guy we ain't gonna talk about.
No, we're gonna talk about him. His name is Kawhi Leonard. Very good player, but he plays for the Clippers now, so I don't really mess with him either, to be honest. So, but I want to add my input on these two moves. Obviously, Jalen, Cohost Jalen, as you said, you have affiliations with both of these teams. Now, I think you definitely have been calling the DeJounte Murray one coming about, and I do think the Spurs did right by him by trading him to somebody who will actually contend and not forcing him to go through a rebuild. As far as Brunson goes, I think that one was kind of expected as well. I think even before like free agency opened up, they were saying he was going to go to the Knicks and whatnot. So
the thing with that, for the ones who really don't know basketball, which is a lot of people out there, his father, who was a former NBA player himself, he's actually on the Knicks coaching staff. So I mean that, and kind of being offered $110 million. Dallas did offer him about $5 million less, but either way, man, like, I still got love for JB. He did his thing in Dallas. It really sucks that he's not going to be the homegrown sidekick to Luka. But I mean, I wish him luck, but we all know it's the Knicks. We don't expect nothing from the Knicks. So.
Yeah, the Knicks, I think they've been trying to build around Julius Randle for I don't know how long. And being a former Laker, I got much love for Julius Randle. But, we'll see what happens. It's the Knicks. They kind of are just there at this point. But I do want to talk about another Spurs player that ended up signing with my team in Lonnie Walker. Now, what I think of this move is I think we definitely needed to get younger and add an infuse of youth at just all the positions all around. I did find out the other day that Carmelo Anthony, my second favorite player of all time, only signed a 1-year deal with us. I don't know why I thought he signed a 2-year deal. Bit bummed out about that. But as far as Lonnie Walker goes, I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what he brings to the team. That's really all I got to say about that. And so, co-host Jalen, tell him about some more of these free agency. Yep. Sounds about right. Looks about right. Where he belongs.
Better than your damn team. But we're gonna get into some big name extensions that also have occurred over these past.
You're missing our trade, bud.
Days. What trade?
We didn't cover that yet.
When I'm not getting to that yet.
Okay, fair enough.
So some of the big time extensions that have happened over the past few days. Let's see here my notes. Bradley Beal staying in DC, 5-year, $251 million. Let's see here. Nikola Jokic, 2-time reigning MVP, 5-year, $264 million. And then Devin Booker, 4-year, $204. Luka's son, 4-year, $214 million extension. So those are kind of the big name extensions that have happened.
Let's just speak on Bradley Beal for a minute, though. Being as I am from Maryland and I have some ties to the closest team there, I don't root for them or anything, but I do follow them. Bradley Beal, you being loyal to the Wizards is not gonna do shit for you, bud. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Damian Lillard. We've seen it with DeMar DeRozan. I will preach this time and time again. You're better off even going somewhere where you're gonna get well, you already got your bag, so I can't say that. But you're better off going somewhere to a contender where they're gonna get a ring, because we all know. I don't think the Wizards doing anything.
Well, let's be honest. If your job offered you $251 million to basically be mediocre, you'd take that. Let's be honest.
You're not wrong. I definitely would take that.
Now, getting to the other one, Nikola Jokic, 5-year, $264 million deal, well deserved. I mean, like I said, 2-time MVP, back to back. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Well deserved. Definitely the best center, one of the best centers, not the best center in the league. He has his bag. You know what I'm saying? So he can, take that money and go build his, little horse farm in Serbia when his playing days are over. But let's be honest, Denver Nuggets, y'all probably gonna just stay as first round exits if I'm keeping it a buck.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be honest.
And then getting to the next one, We have a couple more extensions after that to talk about. Devin Booker, he did get the 4-year, $214 million extension that he was promised if he met certain accolades the past season. He broke up with Kendall Jenner, so you don't got to really worry about that no more.
Yeah, so he will not have hopefully he will not have the Kardashian curse following him around.
But the one thing that he will also have is he is the son to one Luka Doncic, always and forever.
Anyways, let me speak on this a bit, seeing as Devin Booker is one of my favorite players in the league that does not play for my team. I think the Suns did right by him. We all saw it coming in extending him. That's the guy you want to build around. That's the guy you want. Because CP3, love him to death, but that man's getting up there in age. I don't know if he can carry a team like he used to. That's all I'm saying on the matter.
He's Luka's son too. He is. Luka owns that whole franchise.
And this is why it's hard to root for Luka Doncic.
Who cares?
I care.
So other big name extensions to touch on: Karl Anthony Towns, 4-year, $231 million deal. Ja Morant, 5-year, $231 million deal. In terms of Cat, I keep saying I'm sorry. In terms of Cat, longevity, he's going to stay in Minnesota. Going to be a big part of the future, along with someone else who they just acquired, which we'll touch on in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So he's in Minnesota long term with that young core they got down there with Ant Edwards, or should I say Cumming Wilkes. If you've seen Hustle, then you know what I'm talking about. And D'Angelo Russell, should they hang on to him? So I mean, hey, Minnesota looking little nice little team up there.
And as far as the Grizzlies go, we all knew that Ja Morant extension was coming. That's your focal point there. That's the guy you want to build around. That's the guy you want your team to carry to the playoffs and further if they can. I got mad love for Ja Morant. He is one of my other favorite players in the league. Yeah, believe it or not, even though I'm a Lakers fan, I do have players that I root for too. So.
All right, and let's see here. Kind of skimming through my notes here. Zach LaVine, Chicago, 5-year, $215 million extension. A lot of people have him going somewhere else, but I guess apparently he's low to Chicago somewhat. So he's staying in the Winning City, hoping to build on it's not the bet, I guess it's a good season to make the playoffs, but they got destroyed by the Bucks in the first round, but he's staying there long term, so. I mean, hey, if you got a Zach LaVine jersey for Christmas or your birthday, I mean, you can kind of wear it 2 more times.
Hey, love to hear it. But yeah, I don't foresee Zach LaVine going anywhere. I know my fan base, they were like, oh yeah, man, we gonna get Zach LaVine. No, we were never getting Zach LaVine. Let's be real.
Lakers fan expectations. Y'all gonna get Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
We're gonna touch on the Kyrie.
Luka Doncic, Devin Booker. Let's see here.
The ghost of Kobe, LeBron's son, and the rights to Space Jam 3. Yeah, I get it. I'll be the first one to admit that my
all
fan
that
base,
just to lose in the first round and miss the playoffs altogether.
Let me talk.
No.
Suck a truck. Anyways, I'll be the first to admit that our fan base is delusional out there. Much like some Luka fans are delusional as hell. Jalen. Anywho. No,
yeah,
my
expectation. My player can back it up, so it's definitely warranted.
My expectation. No, he can't. He's not the best player in the league, and I'll fight you on that.
All right.
He's one of them. He's not the best, though. Anyways, my expectations for the Lakers, they're low. I set the bar low. Stay fucking healthy. They probably can't even do that right, though, if we're being honest. Anyways, let's get into the next order of business, shall we?
We saw some more.
Yeah, I know. Let's get into the next
All right. So,
order.
More big-time names getting extensions. Zion Williamson, the local favorite of every New Orleans restaurant, especially the Cajun restaurants and all that good stuff. 5-year, $193 million deal. Incentives, you can get up to $231 million. And then Darius Garland, a great young player for the Cavaliers, as Dereck is trying to do the two-step right here.
Oh, I wasn't trying to do a two-step. A bug landed on me and I had to kill it.
He is going to re-sign with the Cavaliers for a 5-year, $193 million deal. So, any thoughts on those two?
Yeah, this is going to be a bit outlandish on the Zion Williamson one. But did you not call it years ago that this man was a scrub or a bust, as you like to call it? I would compare.
Once again, confirming my genius.
Yes, you do. Well, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So there's that. Anyways, this man to me is the Jamarcus Russell of the NBA right now, and you know why I make that comparison. He hasn't done shit. He hasn't done anything to warrant, at least in my opinion, he hasn't done anything to warrant a max contract. What has he done in the league to warrant a max contract?
My opinion on Zion Williamson, I mean, as a player, yeah, I do agree with he's not obviously the best. As a person, I mean, as a person, he seems like a cool guy to hang with. You know what I'm saying? But he probably eat like half my food. You know what I mean? But he's a marketing ploy. You know what I mean? Because you go to Nike Alex, you see all of his, his shoes, his Jordan brand apparel. He's a marketing ploy. He's really been that way since, his middle school days, his AAU days. He's a name. He's a big name. If you know sports by now, we all know big names, no matter if they're good, bad, ass, what have you, they're going to sell. You know what I mean? So that's really all Zion is, in my opinion. Now, in terms of a Garland deal, I see it as a good deal. He's a great young player, someone for the Cavs to build around as they kind of gain some relevancy. But really, for the first time since LeBron was there, so Cleveland's doing something right, and kind of touching on really the first big trade in the NBA offseason. Rudy Gobert, public enemy number one in Dallas a couple of months ago, even though we ended up being number 6. He is going to the Great North and joining Cat and Kermit Wills on the Timberwolves.
Yeah, my takes on this is give me a second. Damn it, allergies. My thoughts on this are the Timberwolves gave up. No, they didn't even give up. Like, what the hell did the Jazz get back in return? Just a bunch of picks, right? Or am I tripping?
The Jazz basically got a bunch of roster fill players, including Jared Vanderbilt, Pat Beverly, and they basically got like a bunch of players to fill the roster around. The way I view it is Minnesota got the one, I guess you could say the one missing piece that they needed to actually, go past the first round. And the fact that you can have 2 of the best big men in the league, that's definitely going to make the T-Wolves a scary, scary sight for the foreseeable future.
Definitely.
Oh, that's really it.
Okay. My thoughts on it, time will tell, but I feel like the Jazz got fleeced. Yeah, they gave up a bunch of picks. And we do apologize for the noise in the background, not our usual recording time. It is what it is, though. We're working. We're doing what we can. We'll get into that later. But my thoughts on it are that the Jazz got fleeced, and there's not many people that can change my mind about that. We'll see what these picks do in the time being.
Dereck is following around some dragonflies.
They're my homies, man. I'm cooler with them than I am with you. Okay. Write in your diary. My best friend was mean to me.
You can write in your diary. My brother treats me like crap. He doesn't like me anymore. He's gonna leave me for his other high school friend and eventually some girl.
Yeah, I don't think all that. I don't overthink like that. That was last year's version of Dereck. Anyways, let's get into some other news. So, for those of you who have been living under a rock, there's some news on the Charlotte Hornets front, and it's not good news. Miles Bridges, you piece of shit. The reason I say that is because this man beat the shit out of, allegedly, Michelle Johnson, and he was charged. His wife, thank you, Jalen. And he was charged with a felony. So I don't condone domestic violence. I speak out on it a lot. You know, my favorite player in the league at one point for the NFL, Ray Rice, he got suspended because of domestic violence, and now he advocates against it. So, yeah, co-host Jalen, what do you think of this, since I've said my piece on this?
Well, if y'all have seen, you know, the pictures from his wife about what happened, one, it's clear that he did it.
Yes,
You know what I
definitely.
mean? It's not like he can sit there like, oh, I didn't do it. We got you in 4K, gang. Like, come on now. What sucks for him, I would say as a player, is Charlotte was you know, basically ready to offer him an extension,
The mid-level extension, if
but
I'm not.
they ended up pulling that out due to obvious reasons. Like Dereck said, I personally don't condone against domestic violence. It sucks really to have, you know, a promising young player kind of
Throw his career away.
I wouldn't necessarily say that, because we all know they're probably end up being a team, unless he doesn't serve jail time for this. There'll be a team out there that's going to get him. And kind of touching on the Hornets, again, I mean, what? Michael Jordan, like, you're the GOAT. I love you, but you're terrible as an owner.
Thank you.
Like,
I'm
I
glad
mean,
we
you
can agree on that.
got Miles Bridges, you know, beating up his wife. You got Montrezl Harrell getting busted for having marijuana, and he's now potentially going to be serving a 5-year, you know, prison sentence for that. Like, you better hope and pray to God that you can hand it to LaMelo Ball when he got to resign him, because we all know damn well he definitely ain't going to stay in Charlotte unless you offer him like
Big money.
Mahomes money and like a share of the franchise.
Oh, speaking
And
of
you end up making the team wear Puma because of him.
Yeah. Speaking on LaMelo Ball and the Hornets, I think y'all should give Miles Bridges' roster spot to somebody who me and co-host Jalen did not get to see play last year in LiAngelo Ball. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? He's already on the summer league team.
Well, the thing with that, yes, I'm not the biggest fan of the Ball brothers. Should they go that route, it's going to be to sell tickets. It's going to be to sell merch. Like I said, big name. It's going to sell. You know what I mean? But
Yeah. While we're on that topic, out of the three of them, who do you think is the best Ball brother?
probably LaMelo, but that's not really saying much.
Yeah, I'd say it's Lonzo, but
I
again,
mean, like I said, I mean, in my opinion, you know, they're overhyped by their father, you know, when they started getting all this notoriety.
well, you gotta think. Like, I get it, LeVar Ball can be a lot to deal with and whatnot, but that man did say, and he kind of did deliver on it, he did say he was going to get all three of his kids to the league.
He did. I mean, I will give him that. He basically did call it. But I think the way I kind of view it now is their play isn't really backing that up. Like, you rarely hear of Lonzo, scoring 25, 30 in a game. I think the highest LaMelo scored in the game was like 20-something points. So, I mean, the talk really isn't backing it up. But, I mean, like I said, they're a name, they're going to sell. You're going to be the only reason why people even associate themselves with the Hornets is because you're on the team. But
hey, LaMelo Ball's shoe game go crazy, though. Anyways, I think we done talked about most of the NBA stuff, right?
there's a few more involving some big name players.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. How did I almost forget? So I want to talk on my Lakers front because as of about an hour and a half ago, it came out per Chris. What's the last name? I'm blanking.
Bouchard?
Yeah, I think so.
That's the one I can think of.
It might have been him. It might have been somebody else. But it came out that the Lakers and the Nets are working aggressively to do a Russell Westbrook. I have a lisp apparently when it comes to that. Leave me alone.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook.
Sound it out. Sound it out. It's an R, not a W.
Russell Westbrook.
There you go. Good
Russell
job.
Westbrook.
Good
I
job.
hate you so much.
So do I.
Yeah, I know you hate yourself, but that's for your therapist. Oh, wait, you don't have one.
I
Okay.
don't need one.
Yeah, you do. Anyways, so My thoughts on this is I've always been a fan of Kyrie Irving. I would straight up take him over Westbrook, to be honest. Yeah, co-host Jalen can make the argument that Westbrook won an MVP, but that was 5 years ago. What has he done lately? And obviously, going off of that, Kyrie and LeBron James have chemistry together. They played together on the Cavaliers, so that's my take on it. Co-host Jalen.
While Martin Luther Irving does have the one Lucid championship ring, there's a reason why they call him Martin Luther Irving for a reason. Russell Westbrook, I will not sit here and continue to watch the slander that the man who once averaged a triple-double every night, I think for like 2 years, including the year he won MVP, and now people are basically treating him like he's ass. Like, just because he didn't deliver for your beloved Lakers, that don't mean that you get to, to shit on him. Yes, he spent the 1 year in DC, but it's the Wizards. Let's be honest. Why the hell do you think Bradley Beal's wasting his career there? You know what I mean? So, should this trade happen, and knowing the NBA, they're going to find a way to make it happen. Kyrie and LeBron will be reunited in Lakerland with Anthony Davis, who is like the glass fish from SpongeBob nowadays. But that's all you're going to have.
You said the glass fish? You mean the My Leg guy? The glass fish?
No, the one fish who,
Oh, you're talking about the one that's made of paper. Okay, I got you.
That one.
I'm tracking.
You uncultured swine.
I'm not uncultured. I talk SpongeBob quotes daily.
You look at Westbrook, he's probably going to be stuck in Brooklyn with, Ben Simmons and a bunch of role players.
Because, yeah, continue. We'll get to that in a minute.
But, again, it's just the whole, if you're like a real basketball fan, you're not going to slander Westbrook's game like he's ass, because he really isn't.
Well, here's my thing. First of all, this is America, sir. This is there's a constitution, and that constitution.
Don't say the land of the.
We're not going to talk about that.
It definitely ain't that.
This is not a political show, sir. Don't get into all that, because we know all that. That's why we not wearing the 4th of July colors. Anywho, my thoughts on it are, hey, don't rush me. This is my show, your show. We do what we want here. Anywho, my thoughts on this are, this is America, and I can say what I please.
So don't catch you slipping up?
What?
Again, you uncultured swine.
No, I'm not uncultured. So, I have the freedom of speech, so I can say whatever the hell I want. And weren't you the one that said bullying works when you were bullying your Yankees? So I'm going to bully Westbrook until he starts doing better.
Yeah, and then he's going to pull up on you like he's going to pull up on Skip Bayless.
Listen, he can pull up on Skip Bayless all he wants. I just want Westbrook to be successful if he's on the Lakers. That is all. Speaking of that, though, there's a reason co-host Jalen did not mention a certain Nets player by the name of Kevin Durant, because that man...
I was about to get into it, but
I know.
You so rudely interrupted.
Yeah, you did that when we started the show, so eye for an eye, bud.
Who cares? So the other big domino to fall in NBA free agency is Kevin Durant. He has opted out of his contract in Brooklyn. Him and the Nets front office, they're working to get him out of there, basically. His top destinations are Phoenix and Miami. So I feel like Miami might be the better situation, depending. Well, I look at this. It's basically now a game of what are you willing to give me for Kevin Durant in this sense.
But you know the funny thing about that is it came out a couple days ago or a day or so ago that Kevin Durant does not want to be traded to Miami unless they keep that core. And obviously you're not getting a player of Kevin Durant's caliber unless you trade a big name from Miami's core.
I first saw something earlier, rumors that he could go to the Raptors, but a lot of things that I have seen, it involved Scotty Barnes, which was Rookie of the Year, but then it kind of came out saying that, if Toronto were to pursue him, they're not going to include Scotty Barnes in that deal. So, say if that were to happen, they'd probably include, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet. So, yeah, definitely Crazy times in the NBA. Me personally, I am still a Kevin Durant supporter. You know what I mean? Love him or hate him, he still has 2 championship rings. No matter
Yeah, because
how
he took the easy way out.
He still got him.
He took the easy way out.
But,
so here's my beef with Kevin Durant, right? You would think I would like him because he has Maryland connections and whatnot, but I liked Kevin Durant when he was on the Thunder. I'm not a fan of the fact that he joined a 73-9 team. So let's be honest, they didn't need him. They just did that because they could. It was the easy way to get in more championships. So that's my beef. And then my other beef is everybody wants to give LeBron James shit, right? Because he goes and starts these super teams. But at least this man starts the super teams and builds them, right? KD just whines like a little baby and then goes to another super team. That's what the Brooklyn Nets were supposed to be. The Brooklyn Nets were supposed to be the next big super team. But guess what? James Harden called that shit and dipped before it fell apart. And we're seeing it fall apart before our damn eyes.
And then Harden just appeared in the playoffs like he always does.
You're talking a lot of shit. You're going to get hit, my boy.
That's went to the conference finals. So, I mean...
You're not even a Mavs fan. You're a Spurs fan who just hopped off the wagon.
I'm not even a Spurs fan. I don't have a team
You hopped off the wagon because the Spurs were ass and you couldn't handle losing.
Okay.
Anywho, what else do we got to talk about as far as basketball goes?
Well, in terms of basketball news, that really covers it.
Now, there's something else I want to talk about. I got to pull up the information on it. Because we did say a while ago, and we have been lacking in that area in regards to women's sports. We used to be really good about covering it, but then,
Well, while he's doing that, I'll give you guys a little, my little pop culture speech, what have you. So, again, well, this time, unless somebody didn't let you borrow their account, part 2 of Stranger Things season 4 did drop yesterday, and from the reaction that I have seen on social media, it left a lot of people teary-eyed. A lot of people were, kind of, in shock, really. So spoiler alert.
Hey, before he gives that spoiler alert, we're gonna give you 5 seconds to click off the video and then come back to it after you watch it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead, Jalen.
All right. So unfortunately, they did kill off Eddie, which again he played the role of new character coming in, taking everyone's hearts, and then he dies. Same thing with Billy last year. And then, last season, and then Max, unfortunately, she did fall into a coma at the end of episode 9. She was in the hospital. They kind of pursued her as, being dead. But from what I've been seeing online, is she's just in a coma. So, season 5, which the Duffer Brothers, they did confirm that will be the last season of the show. They're going to end it right there. So hopefully season 5 kind of starts off with her kind of waking up out of that coma. But then again, they did say there's going to be a time jump because it kind of took them like 3 years to film this season, and now the fact that basically everyone's like growing up. So yeah, that's kind of my pop culture segment. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you go see it. And
we did give you
pouring out. God, I can't speak.
Come on, spit it out. Come on, today, Junior.
I forgot his damn name. I'm dumb.
Was it Eddie?
Yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't got a chance already, and pouring out for Eddie, man.
Yeah. So we gave y'all a spoiler warning. Obviously, come back to this video after you watched it. I don't care much for Stranger Things. I should give it a try, but I still haven't seen Uncut Gems, so.
Yeah, so,
We're still going on that. It's going to be like 3 more months into this, and I'm still not going to have watched that shit.
What are they all doing?
Anyways, going from the world of the NBA to the WNBA, WNBA star and Olympic gold medalist Brittney Griner, obviously, those of you who know the situation that's going on, she is being detained in Russia because she was accused by a Russian prosecutor, I almost said something else, of moving a significant amount of cannabis oil. So those rules over there in Russia, they're very strict and whatnot, but we need to bring Brittney Griner home. That's all I got to say on that front.
Who's Brittney Griner?
Griner. I
heard Griner.
You did. I said it incorrectly. So Brittney Griner home. Because let's be honest, cannabis oil, weed, it's not that big of a deal. There are people who smoke, who vape, who smoke nicotine, and that's worse than cannabis. You know, I'll be an advocate for cannabis and weed and the marijuana and whatnot. Co-host Jalen, what are your thoughts on this?
I do agree with the whole, bring Brittney home. You know what I mean? I did see something on how they were trying to talk with Russian officials to do like a prisoner swap and all that. So, I mean, Russia being Russia, Putin being who he is, kind of just being, stubborn about it. So, hopefully she does come home sooner rather than later. I mean, me personally, I don't have a problem with women's sports. I just don't necessarily follow them. But, shout out to Sabrina UNESCO. She's doing her thing with the Liberty. And, yeah.
Yeah. So, that said, I kind of want to wrap this up with some 4th of July ordeals because this is a 4th of July episode. So, we're going to run down the best 4th of July sports-related moments, and I'm going to read them off this list right here. And we'll get your thoughts and reactions and whatnot. So, the first one that we have right here is, and we're not going to cover that one. That one was a while ago. So, what? It's old.
Oh, we're talking about, we're gonna go over the top 10 4th of July sports moments. I'm not gonna do that one. Next one.
It's our podcast. We can do what we want. But 1939, because that's old too, but it's not that old. Lou Gehrig's farewell speech. For those of you who don't know, he was diagnosed with amyotrophical lateral
ALS. Just say
yes,
ALS.
ALS. Thank you.
Don't hurt your brain anymore than
Thank you.
you've already done with your past 25 years of life.
Anyways, that's more commonly conferred to, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Lou Gehrig's disease, correct? So that happened on the 4th of July, so that's very iconic in the world of sports. Then we have a guy by the name of Nolan Ryan, who had his 3,000th strikeout in the 80s. For those of you who don't know, Nolan Ryan is a bit of a MLB, Texas, baseball, what?
He's a legend.
Yes, he's
basically
a legend. That's what I'm getting at. So he played for the Astros and he played for the Rangers. Is there any other teams I'm missing?
Won the World Series ring with the Mets. Played for the Angels.
Happy 4th of July, everybody. But anyways, let's continue into this. We'll cover, I don't want to cover that type of tennis. I'm being very picky with this list right now, but I don't want to cover that because that's another Yankees player. And
for someone who really wanted to cover, notable 4th of July sports moments, you're kind of skipping over a lot of them.
We don't have to cover all of them. We'll be here all night if we cover all of them. So 1985, the Mets and the Braves go 19 innings. For those of you who don't know when it comes to baseball, 9 innings is the usual stretch of baseball. So they went an extra 10 innings. That is a lot. Nope. We're not covering that because... Okay, we're into some more recent stuff now. So 2008, Albert, how do you pronounce that last name, Jalen?
My God, man, Albert Pujols.
Thanks. He hits his 300th homer. So with the Cardinals. So that's cool and all. We got another 2008 one. 2008 one. The Rockies erased a 9-run deficit against the Florida Marlins.
Did they win?
Let's find out.
You didn't even mention if they won.
Yeah, storm back from damn.
I should hope they would have won.
They had so the Marlins jumped out to a 13-4 lead in the 4th inning. Colorado stormed back for an 18-17 victory. So that's cool and all. And yeah, let's see if we can cover some other sports besides baseball. Because not everybody likes baseball, even though it's America's pastime.
There's nothing else really going on right now.
You are correct. But they have some tennis here and there. I read something up on...
You said tennis like we actually watch tennis.
Serena Williams and Venus Williams are notable enough to where I can talk about it. Here, you know what? You like some good old NASCAR, so let's talk about some damn NASCAR, bud.
Yee.
1984. It was Richard Petty's final victory. So yeah, at the
Daytona International Speedway.
yes, they had it called the Firecracker 400. So
I'm trying to think. I think yeah. So the cool thing about that 200th NASCAR win, no other drivers even come close to accomplishing that, and final win of his career. Richard Nixon, he was actually at the race. He gave the gentlemen start your engines from the plane. The shot of Air Force One landing in the background of the cars are going down the backstretch, and then Richard Petty won. And then after the race, they met in the press box and they both bonded over a piece of KFC, which I feel like you would like that very much.
I don't even like KFC like that, man. You was the one out here, signing up to the KFC. You know why I'm here. Let me get that Jack Harlow meal. That's my long lost twin brother, even though y'all look nothing alike.
He is my long lost brother.
No, he ain't. He don't even know you, little bro.
He gave me all the ribs, you know what I mean? So
He didn't give you no
I'm
ribs.
carrying on.
He didn't give you shit.
He didn't even know rich crackers.
He built like a cracker.
So I have to be racist to our own kind now. What does this world come to?
Shit. 2010, Serena Williams wins her 4th of 5 Wimbledon titles by defeating
How many was he?
5.
How many is 5?
About 4 more than 1. Nope, that doesn't even work, because the amount of rings that Kobe has, that's how many 5 is. You hush your mouth. You don't disrespect him on this podcast. We do not slander Kobe Bryant.
Yes, the fuck I do.
No, we don't. You know what? When Tim Duncan goes missing, he's already missing, let's be honest. That man keeps a low profile. 2010, yep, she won 4 or 5 Wimbledon titles. So that's about all that happened on the 4th of July. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, them loud popping noises that you heard in the background and whatnot, them's was fireworks. Or was that? So, co-host Jalen, fun segment of the night. What's your favorite 4th of July tradition?
Well, kind of going back in the old ball here. So when I was younger, I used to go to Schleswig 4th of July, and that's really the main one I had. Just I guess really just being at a water park, lake, a pool, 4th of July. That was really kind of how it was for me growing up. I do have a whole bunch of plans coming up actually this coming week since I'm off. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess that's really the main one. Kind of just being around some kind of body of water. Eating burgers, drinking beer, just having a good old time.
Yeah. So I would say my favorite 4th of July tradition.
It's the hot dog eating contest.
It's not, you asshole.
He be watching Joey just like, oh my God.
That's my idol. No, asshole.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah, shut up. Anyways, before co-host Jalen was so rudely a dickhead, my favorite 4th of July tradition, my mom, when we used to live back in Maryland, would take us down to the Inner Harbor and we would watch the fireworks every 4th of July. So that's one of my favorite ones. Obviously, I also like being on the water and stuff. One of my coworkers roasted me, and when I said I was going swimming next weekend, they were like, "You mean sinking?" And yeah, they got me good, man. They got me good. So.
Oh yes, that does sound pretty funny.
It was funny. I couldn't even be mad at it. But anyways, I also enjoyed going swimming on bodies of water and whatnot. Those of you who don't know me, I love the water. I used to pretend I was Nemo, whatnot. It is what it is.
You sure you weren't Bubby from Flapjack?
I'm gonna throw this microphone at your head.
You won't. Yeah, I'll go buy another one.
Damn. It's not like you. Wait, did you ever pay me for this one?
Yes!
Okay, fair enough. I made him pay for his own mic. But I keep the shit at my house anyway. Anyway, any PSAs for the crowd?
Well, consider the fact that I'm starting and trying to venture into the world of football. The MLS team that I have claimed, Austin FC, they do play Monday against Colorado. Austin FC, they're actually doing pretty good this year. I think they're like 3rd in the standings. So, shout out to them. I definitely want to try to go out and catch a game one of these days. I don't know if I'm
gonna go with.
Not you.
you know damn well you go with me and Isaiah, and me and Isaiah would probably just drink. It's something to do.
I'll find someone to go with. I'll call one of my old high school buddies to come down. Like, hey man, trying to go to a soccer game?
They're gonna be like, "What's soccer? I only know American football." But anyways, soccer might be fun. I used to play it when I was a kid, when I was skinny.
Everyone plays soccer as a kid. You're not special.
We went undefeated and won a bobblehead trophy. Let me have this.
You look like a damn bobblehead.
And you look like a guy on crack. I'm not trying to hear it.
You look like a great value Luke Combs. I don't want to hear it. Goddamn. Loudness, ice cold beer never broke your heart. Looking at
You the one that listen to country music out here. I don't listen to that yee stuff.
It's called Broadening Your Horizons.
I listen to death metal and hardcore death metal only.
Look here, Eddie Munson.
I'm kidding. I listen to all types of music. Anyways, my PSAs for the crowd tonight. Get your bug spray out. I don't know if you live in these southern states, man. These bugs, like, obviously you saw me kill one on the episode earlier, so yeah, that happened. Wear your sunscreen. Stay safe this weekend. You know, don't do anything irresponsible like drinking and driving and whatnot. Set off your fireworks properly. Don't JPP it and lose a finger or 3. Be responsible. You know, have a safe and festive 4th of July weekend. If you don't celebrate that, whatever you do celebrate, you know. Also, take care of your chickens and your mentals, and I think that's all I gotta say when it comes to this episode. So we're gonna wrap it up here. So pleasure doing business with you. Go with the episode.